but
Yeah.
we were talking about Khaled.
Yeah.
So I don't think that you watched it. I watched it personally, but
What?
Hot 97 dropped a Tyler the Creator interview 2 days ago or a day ago.
I
And
don't watch it.
I will say that it's probably one of the greatest interviews I've ever watched in all of mankind, because Tyler the Creator never cared about anybody or anything, and that's what I love about him. When it comes to his music, you wouldn't think that the style of music that he makes would sell as much as it does. Like, but what he does with business, like everything about him, he's like, I'm not gonna compare him to Kanye and put him in a box because that would contradict like what he was saying in the interview that I agreed with. He was saying like, don't compare me to people, but like in that same sort of space with like Pharrell and like that whole era of people that are just, they make different music, they sell clothes, like they're just like a different type of people. And he was like killing everybody. Like I've never seen him talk like that personally, and he even said like while he was saying it, he was like, I don't even talk like this, but he was getting it off.
No, I had to watch it.
You have to watch the full thing. I had it on earlier, but our TV cut off for whatever reason, so I didn't feel like watching it again. But I don't know why I like that. But hold up. I'm gonna see. Hopefully they don't take us off. Hot 97 don't kill us, because this is important. He was killing everybody, so I'm gonna just play. I have a couple clips, so I'm just gonna play. You know what? Let me play the DJ Khaled one first.
Like you felt like at the time when that conversation happened, that Khaled thing was like, it was fun. It was just watching a man die inside because the guy that, you know, the weirdo was winning. I was moonwalking in a wig. This nigga had everyone on his album. Everyone.
He was talking about how he came first.
Yeah, he finally addressed it.
That's why people were talking about it.
Yeah.
So, but it's to the same point, isn't it? About like, not understanding what's happening. Not understanding, like, and he wasn't wrong. Like, I'm not in the barber shop. I'm not at the club. I'm not getty skitty. I'm not in the back of the Maybach.
Yeah.
Yikes.
Right? And he's not wrong.
Yeah.
But like,
because he's directly.
His shit is big where it's big, and your shit is big where it's big. But like,
yeah, he's directly talking about like, just because Khaled didn't hear his music outside, don't mean that his music don't sell.
It's the same thing with like all these big artists.
He really didn't like that at all, because it's like, man, I make rap music. I love rap music. I make music, but rap is my thing. And it was already making alternative rap and not fully being again accepted by like the BETs or like a lot of them shit I've been dealing with, and that's dealing with my whole life.
Yeah, it kind of messed up there, but that was Hot 97. I don't know what they're doing with their editing.
Indirectly be like, that ain't real rap. That ain't real black music. That's what it felt like. And I was like, my nigga, don't do, but I didn't say nothing. I just let that number one speak. Nigga ego had to deal with that, because his whole identity is being number one. And when he didn't get that, that sat with him longer in real lifetime than that moment. I moved on. I went and did some shows. We went to London. Cool. Didn't think about it. That sat with him, because his whole identity is we the best. We the number one. And when the underdog to him took that away from him, the nigga ego was deflated. He'll probably never admit it.
But and you do,
and I saw, and it's no hard feelings towards him, because I was gonna rap over. You got the right one. It's Weezy fucking holla at me. I was gonna rap over that for the Call Me If You Get Lost shit. I didn't end up doing it, but like, man, DJ Khaled, man, what he's done,
and he was an underdog too, and built his way up too, from nothing.
So, hopefully they don't take us down for playing that full clip, but yeah, basically like what he was saying is like that same thing. Like, Tyler makes music, so it's a little bit different when you have somebody that just kind of in a way
that's like the annoying
curates a playlist, because essentially, like, it's not that DJ Khaled and his role isn't important. It definitely was extremely important back in the day, but now more so than ever, people are too accessible to one another. Where
like, it was so cool, like when we were like younger growing up, and like DJ Khaled drops, and like like 10 people on the song, like that one song, it's like Nicki, Tyga, Drake. I'm like, everybody wanted one song, but now it's kind of like, all right.
The crazy part, it would be 10 people on the original song, and then they would remix it with like 20 new people. It was like crazy. It was like a battle royale.
It's just, I feel like it's just, that kind of thing died out a little bit, so it's not really needed anymore. So, and I mean, he was still number 2. That's the crazy part. He was still number 2. So. Yeah,
but you know, to people's point, it's kind of like what I don't think people know in sports is kind of like in music too. So sports, they see somebody gets $100 million contract, whatever. They think that they just got $100 million check. It's like, first of all, no, it's divided over a certain number of years. It's not 100 million a year. It's 100 million over whatever amount of years. But even still, you have to, that's the maximum potential that you can make. You don't actually make that. There's a certain guaranteed amount that you make. And then anything above that to get you to that full salary value number, you have to earn it. So like Khaled, like Tyler said, his whole brand is being number one. So
now he's probably like...
So because he didn't get a number one, that number one spot is probably in their contract. That's why people care so much, because him getting that number one spot means that he probably missed out on like a few $1 million.
Makes sense. Because they probably think like, since he usually does go number one, that is almost like that's part
Guaranteed.
of like the contract. Yeah.
Yeah.
Like you'll go number one, you'll this, that.
Yeah. Like in baseball, it's like you get selected to the All-Star game, you get an extra $1 million. You make the World Series, you get an extra $15 million. Like whatever the contracts are, that's how they work in sports. It's not that you just get the full amount. Like you have to
like earn it.
You have to earn some things. They're not just giving away money for no reason. Give you $100 million and you don't actually perform. So, so yeah, I just wanted to tie that in. But he was talking crazy in here, and I know that. I know how you feel. I know how you are. Like, he was talking about like cancel culture, like how terrible it is, because I don't know how familiar you...
I feel like these people be watching our podcast. I'm just kidding. I'm obviously joking, but it's just funny. It's just a coincidence. A lot of things that we talked about, a lot of people have talked about like right after, like in podcasts. Well,
of course, because they were talking about like the whole DaBaby situation and everything.
So obviously it's not really a coincidence.
But he was talking about how, I don't know how familiar you were with him when he came out, like really like how into him you were, but... I was never really into him, but I knew of him. Like I've heard all his songs, and you know he was obviously popular among the skateboard kids, so all the skateboard kids at school wearing Odd Future and all that stuff. So. Yeah, I mean even before that though, it was crazy because he was talking about how like people were talking about cancel culture now with like, oh, you can't perform at this show. Like he was talking about, yo, I got banned from countries until like for like decades.
Wow, I do remember hearing about that. I think
he was talking about in the thing. He was like, yo, I showed up to the airport inside one like a European country, or he was in Australia or New Zealand or somewhere. He showed up to the airport and they had pictures of him at every terminal saying, don't let this person get through.
That's great. And his face is like pretty distinct.
Yeah. And so he had to leave the airport, get on a train to go to another country that didn't have him banned so he could get out. So he was like talking about cancel culture. Y'all talking about getting people off a festival. They were getting me out of a country. I couldn't even go home.
Wow.
So the interview was amazing. Definitely appreciated. I'm not going to sit here and play the whole interview because everything that he said was like on point. But for the sake of time, the only other thing that I'll play is just this one part where he was talking super greasy to everybody. Let me see if I can find it in my likes. But yeah, he was talking about people's opinion, like where everybody just gets their stuff from Hypebeast and all these other pages about how they get their opinions off the internet. Like, oh,
he literally was saying stuff we were saying. We need to be his friend.
I'm performing my video, all my shit better than all of these niggas.
How about every freestyle?
I have more career. But I could walk in. I'm iller than all of these. My legs is longer than all of these niggas. But it's like, all right, cool. I'm just do my shit. And they try to push you to the side and keep doing that. And it's like 10 years later, I'm still here, bro. My career has only been doing this.
Only been up.
This niggas was the hottest shit in 2012. Where the fuck they at right now? Niggas push me to the side and give me that nigga weird, and we can do that. And I'm fucking here right now. Right now. Skin glowing, pockets heavy, garage silly, house gone. Looking for a lake house right now. Clancy my fucking witness.
Crazy.
All my niggas good. Family good, healthy. The shit I got, come on, stop fucking playing with me. I don't even talk like this, but niggas keep doing it. Niggas on the internet, message board niggas, they'll trade their life for mine easy. Stop fucking talking.
Oh my God. Nah, see, everybody on the message boards trade their life for mine instantly. Talking crazy, but that's the part I hate about the internet is that everybody will sit there all day long
and talk crazy.
And he
knowing that if they could have if any moment they could trade lives, they would.
And he explained his whole day. He was like, that person that makes that comment on this thing, he was like, that whole day I went to get a croissant, I went to do this, went and got a something, just went around. He explained his whole day.
And you sat there.
And then you sat there trying
it's
to
funny because
cancel
it's
him.
like how we literally said in our last podcast.
You have to go. You tweet.
People talk crazy online or miserable online, and while they're talking crazy about someone else, that person literally living the life that you want.
Yeah, honestly, like literally, there's not a single. I think the full interview was like an hour 20. There's not a single dull moment, not a single thing that wasn't like quotable. So honestly, it's worth even talking about it on the next pod too, because he was saying how like he was getting into everything. He was like,
I feel like he would get along with us. I feel like we could be his friend.
Yeah, for sure. I
Same
think
mindset.
definitely same mindset. He was like, oh man, if I could find the clip when he was talking about tax brackets.
Oh God.
Oh my goodness gracious. He was like, there's stuff
I like when people talk crazy.
Yeah.
Because especially when you deserve it. Like
that's what he was saying. He was like
people be so mad when you want to brag about your life. Like you deserve that. You deserve to do that. You could still like bragging doesn't make you not humble.
Yeah,
I don't think people understand that.
I think that if you're just gassing up yourself, that's not putting somebody else down.
It's not.
And if somebody else feels the type of way about it, it's probably because they haven't accomplished anything.
Like why are you mad?
Because it's one thing if you're talking about something you accomplished and you're not yourself putting somebody else down, then there's nothing wrong.
Yeah, it's not like for me example, like I'll be like, oh, I got my master's.
Here
like
we go.
I always gotta bring it back to me. I got a master's at 22, like blah blah blah. Like it's not like I'm saying that and I'm like, I got my master's at 22. Like, what do you do with your life? Like you're a bum. I don't say all that. I just say I got my master's at 22 and I talk about it so much. And I feel like people get annoyed with it on my social media and it's like, but let's dig into the issue. Why are you mad that I'm talking about that accomplishment? Yeah. Why are you mad?
He was saying
you didn't do it? Because you can't do it? Why are you mad?
Nah, because I know you were good like this. I'm gonna try to see if I could find the tax bracket tax bracket thing that he said, because what he was saying was there's a whole life outside of your block, your city, your eight people friend group. Yeah. That like
billions of people on this planet.
Because he was saying how people like, oh, I don't ever hear Tyler the Creator out anywhere, and it's like. You live in Montana.
Yeah. Like your scope is
just
your scope. Like
people don't ever leave their state.
People swear they are the main character. Like the main character syndrome is real.
Yeah.
Like, there's a whole life out there. There's so much.
And he was saying how like he wasn't trying to be like classist or anything like that, but he was just saying that that he lives a whole different life. Like he has cars that you would never even heard of, but because you haven't heard of it doesn't make it whack or like, because he was like, there's a whole tax bracket of people that drive these things, that wear this watch, that this, and just because you're not familiar with it doesn't make it whack. Just
that's like
because you're misinformed.
That's like the guy we watched who talks about watches.
Yeah.
The guy like Alex put me on to some guy who literally like has probably every single watch, right? Like he's our watch expert, and one of the main watches that he trashes is like Hublot's and like Richard Mille's, all those watches that all these rappers gas up that people would think are fire watches. This watch expert says they're like mid or like they're trash. Like he hates Hublot's, so it's like it's just funny because somebody else will call him whack if he's wearing a certain watch, and it's like this like you don't even know why you like Richard. Like why do you like Richard Mille's? If you ask people, like, they wouldn't even know.
Yeah, exactly. They just
and that's the thing, like what he was saying.
He literally said, like, you'll go on Hypebeast and see, like, this person said this about this, and then if they said it's good, then you see that. Yeah, now everybody else is going to get it. But if somebody says something's whack, then everybody else is going to say it's whack. So it's like people being sheep, basically.
Yeah, and I can't stand sheep.
But yeah, this was a God level interview. It was good to see him do this interview again because last time he came up there, I think it was like in his peak. People trying to get him out of here. Another thing that was interesting, when he was talking about like so many, and it was kind of almost in a way talking about like the agenda against Black people, where a lot of Black music is not. Let me not even say a lot. I could say a lot. There's a lot of violence in Black music, guns. I'm shooting this, toting this, blah 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 blah. And it was perfectly fine for all of those people to go and travel the world and perform these songs about like you have
violence and things. Hundreds of thousands of people, or like maybe 10, 20,000 people in the audience screaming about like shooting ops, and they don't got a single op. Like,
but he was banned from countries for saying that he doesn't believe in God.
Wow.
And that's the crazy part.
That's actually really crazy because I could go into a whole deeper conversation about religion and how none of it is proven. So I feel like if you have whatever beliefs you want to have. Like, I hate the whole, like, that's the funny part. They'll, like, going back to Kanye, like, people will say how Kanye's concert, like, his listening party was a cult. Like, everybody wearing the same outfits, running in circles. I'm like, religion's a cult. Like, if we really want to talk about it, religion is a cult. Like
a whole bunch of people that
you guys are all praising people that you don't even know really exist. There's no proof. There's not a single ounce of proof. And you guys every Sunday go into a church, give your money away, cry, all of that stuff. Nothing wrong with that. Like, you know, that's your beliefs. But I'm just saying, like, it's just very hypocritical. I don't like when people pick and choose what they think is a cult or what's not a cult. And that's messed up that he can't say that. He, like, if that's his belief, then that's his belief. Like, if you believe in God and you feel like, you know, you're going to be saved when it's all said and done, then that's your own beliefs. I feel like, but bashing people and canceling somebody for not believing that, it's kind of wild. So, yeah. That could be a whole, I mean, that's kind of a touchy subject. So I don't know who I would really dig deep into that, but that's just crazy. I didn't know that's the reason why he got canceled. Yeah. It's like the same thing with the baby. The baby says all this crazy stuff, and like, you know, he made one comment which was still wrong, but he's got canceled from all these festivals. But someone made a point though that's saying like, that's like a deeper issue. That's like what we allow. Because if we don't make raps about killing each other, then, you know, if we don't make those raps, then they wouldn't be a thing. But it's still the basis of it. Like, if you're gonna cancel the baby, you know, you should have been canceling him then, just based off his music and him talking about killing people.
Another thing he talked about was like, what if, like, look where Tyler's at right now. He was like, what if people really got him out of there in 2012 or 2011 when he was saying all these crazy things? Like, imagine how much of stuff we wouldn't have had in culture and just society and stuff.
Or if he gave up, because he might just be like, whatever, I don't want to do this no more. I'm not doing this.
Yeah, it's crazy.
So it's good that, you know, he kept going. I don't think cancel culture is really real. I think the only time it's really real is when you have stuff like R. Kelly. Yeah. And even then, if he had a concert, there still would be thousands of people that would show up, like sick people who don't care. So I don't think cancel culture is really real. Anyway.
Yeah, it's definitely not real. But the whole interview was fire. I'm gonna get off the topic because I could play the whole thing. It was gems. Everything in there was gems. But
have to watch it.
Yeah, definitely probably about the you got some other things you have to do. But yeah.